That should do it. So, good afternoon, everybody. Do me a favor. I need you to invite somebody, share. Invite somebody, everybody. Invite somebody. This is a special news report from Coffee Time. Can you all hear me now? There we go. It's a special report. Now, you all know, good and well. I don't do these in the afternoon. I don't. We kind of reserve this for the morning, and anything thought that was a bee. It's a piece of thread. Okay. We reserve this for the morning, but there are some things that are transpiring in our community. And I really believe that we're supposed to take the lead on it. I believe believers ought to take the lead when it comes to politics, when it comes to things that affect us directly. I believe we're supposed to take the lead. And I've got Bible for that. The Bible says that the elders ruled at the gate. That means those that were from the heart of God, that were put into place to run the synagogue. Also, they ran the city. They ran the country. So I want to say hello to everyone first. Hello, Andrea Mitchell, Tina White McPherson, Tasha Lockett, L.J. Jones. Hey there. Eunice Poole, good to see you, Eunice. Sunshine 1113, Deborah Williams. I need you all to do me a favor, invite somebody to share. This separation of church and state was created by your government because they didn't want the mouth of the prophet, the mouth of God involved. So the separation between church and state, and there's a lot of politics that goes on to keep the mouth of the believer closed. Well, I haven't been bought. Don't nobody own me. I do what I do, and the people support it. So thank you for your support, first and foremost. And secondly, as long as you support, we're going to do this because we got to have a voice who is free from the system of politics and money to give you the truth. And some things are going on in our city I want to make you aware of. So let's start with this here. First and foremost, you all may know A few weeks ago, your sheriff um, abandoned office. That's exactly what he did. Um, it was brought to the light, and I wish to God somebody tell me who did it, that he was not living in Jacksonville. All right. And that he had taken his residence to St. Johns County. Well, that goes against the charter. That goes against the rule. It is also against the law for him to reside in another county and be an elected official in this one. So he was going to fight it. But a couple of weeks after that story broke, or a couple of days, should I say, after the story broke, your sheriff, Mike Williams, put out a letter. And in the letter, he was stating that the city of Jacksonville deserved better. And instead of dragging it out through some court or whatever, that he had decided that he was going to retire. Now, notice he said retire, and he didn't say resign. If he had resigned or quit, he would not have finished his term. Therefore, the pension and all of the money that he gets for being a two-term sheriff, basically, he wouldn't get it. So he didn't resign. He retired. Now you got to understand how the good old boys work. For those of you that are out there, we work every day. We bust our butts. I think if you're going to retire, you evaded your post, you left your post, you weren't pushed out, you elected to go out, and if you're going to do that, you're well within your right. But the other thing that you need to do is pay the city, pay taxpayers who pay your salary, pay that money back to the city, and whatever pension that you're supposed to get for the second term, being a two-term sheriff, you need to give that up too, because you made your choice. You made your choice, and I'm shocked at these weak, punk, spineless, jellyfish people who don't hold the sheriff accountable. Now, if one of you did it, or I did it, we'd be held to the fullest extent of the law. So it's not okay that your sheriff can do this and get away with it and basically get a tap on the hand. Nobody brings him into question. Nobody says anything. All right. So he left office is what he did. Nobody pushed him out. He voluntarily, over a year ago, left office. And now he gets to retire. Gets his full benefits, his full package, his full pension, full salary, and no one says anything. Now, so as a result of that, your governor appointed the undersheriff, which is Pat Ivey, as the interim sheriff until the election on August the 23rd. Okay? Until August 23rd. DeSantis, your governor, appointed an interim sheriff, and his name is Pat Ivey. Now, here's what concerns me. This is what concerns me. So the election has been moved to August 23rd. All right. And we have 6 candidates. And I'm going to read for the record. I'm going to read these comments. I'm going to quote what they had to say. All right. Lakeisha Burton. She says she's optimistic. She says, I am excited when the sheriff announced last week that he had moved. We started thinking about this happening, so I'm not surprised. Burton also said, now this is according to Channel 4. I got this from Channel, so if it's a lie, Channel 4 told it. It's not me, okay? She says, Keisha Burton says, I've been in this fight for a long time. Let's go back. Candidate Lakeisha Burton is optimistic, and she says, I'm excited. When the sheriff announced last week that he had moved, we started thinking about this happening, so I'm not surprised. Burton also says, I've been in this fight for a long time. I want to know what fight you've been in. The fight to get Mike Williams out of office? What fight have you been in a long time? I've been in this fight for a long time. I was the first candidate to get in the race. Well, you don't get no merit for being the first candidate to get in the race. That does nothing for us because you first. What fight have you been in a long time, Keisha? And this is who y'all want to lead the sheriff's department. All right. She says, I think the governor made the appropriate and important decision, not only for our community, but for our agency to have some continuity, but certainly for our community to ensure that we have a clear and clean, fair election. Now, here's what she's talking about. You hear what she's saying. She's making references to something that a lot of people don't know. The reason she says she think it's good so that it could be clear and clean, fair election. Nothing's really fair. But the reason she says that is you might know some time ago that Sheriff Mike Williams endorsed T.K. Waters. T.K. Waters works up under Mike Williams. T.K. Waters has been Mike Williams' boy. T.K. Waters has done everything that Uncle Mike Williams has asked him to do. So because he's done everything that Uncle, some of y'all catching it, that Uncle Mike Williams have asked him to do, Mike Williams and his party, along with his friends, endorsed T.K. Waters to be the next sheriff. So to make T.K. Waters sheriff and he's in the race would be unfair, and this is what Keisha Burton is referring to. She say, I anticipated that we have a Republican governor, a Republican candidate, but I just continue to say law enforcement should not be political. We're here to serve the people, and that's what Duval County voters can expect from me. A sheriff that will get back to serving the people. A sheriff that would get back to serving. So did you stop serving the people in your position? I'm just trying to figure this out. What do you mean back serving the people? Okay. All right. Burton also said, it's time for change. We've been saying that we have incredible opportunity. As a matter of fact, 78 days, and we can make change, and I'm fired up about it, and we need a sheriff that is going to be a fighter, and I am that sheriff who is going to fight for every citizen that lives in Duval County. What you fighting for? Because the blood of my nephews, the blood of cousins, the blood of family and friends have been killed in the street. why aren't you talking about what you're going to fight for? Because it's another way that you can address an issue without addressing an issue. One of the things that they taught us in radio is that you got to hear what people say, but you better hear what they didn't say. Now, she never said what she's running on. She says she can't wait to get back to serving the people, and she can't wait to get back to be sheriff to fight for the citizens that live in Duval County. All right. Now she said one thing that I thought was extremely good and important. She says, I anticipated that we have a Republican governor, a Republican candidate, but I just continue to say law enforcement should not be. Whoever is writing for her, somebody need to get on their job. You shouldn't have let her respond. So this is what she's referring to. DeSantis is a Republican. TK is a Republican. You don't want the same, do you? Mike Williams showed you how he feel about us. You already know how DeSantis feel about us. So we can't put one of the same, one of their endorsements in office. I'm going to let you think about that. Now, Keisha Burton says that she will get back to serving the people. So did you stop serving the people? And if you did, why did you stop, and in what capacity? I've been following all these candidates, and none of them, but one, has told us what they're fighting for. None of them have an agenda directly, and when you ask them questions, they evade it. There's been one candidate who's been consistent from the beginning with telling us what his plan is, how he's going to pay for it, what he's going to do. He's also given us his resume on what he has done that makes him qualified to say what he's going to do. We've had only one. We've had only one candidate to do that. And it's this man, Ken Jefferson. And I've got to tell you, they scare me. They do. They scare me. So that's what we've heard from Keisha Burton. Now let's move to what the other candidates had to say about DeSantis appointing this new undersheriff. Wayne Clark says, reflects on the shorter campaign timeline and encourages voters to research the candidate. He says it does impact the campaign, and I'm excited because now with the situation with Sheriff Williams, the people are paying attention, and they need to make sure they quickly get a qualified candidate in office for sheriff. Clark goes on to say, I must applaud the governor because we need to keep this fairly neutral, and Pat Ivey would have been the natural selection. That way, there is some continuity in the sheriff's office until the people determine who they want next as sheriff. It's hard to read because if you listen to him, it's hard to understand. He says, we all know it is partisan endorsement. I talk to people a lot about the sheriff's race. They don't care if he's Republican or Democrat. They want qualified police officers to respond. So this is not about partisan. It's about professional law enforcement. So I think the people will ultimately decide who they want as sheriff. I think that this is a very important race that we should pay attention to all of the candidates and make sure we are all legally qualified to run for sheriff and do their due diligence and make sure that we choose the most qualified people for sheriff. Well, Wayne, first of all, people is plural. And it's almost like y'all give anybody a gun. Grammatically incorrect, every statement, run-on sentences, and they are quoting him. This is what he said. So I think people will ultimately decide who they want as sheriff. I think we need professional people as sheriff. Well, that's scary. That was Wayne Clark. All right. He still hadn't told us why he should be sheriff. He hasn't given us a plan. He's not telling us what he's running. We know all of them want to be sheriff. If they didn't want to be sheriff, they wouldn't be in the race. What we need to know is, what is your plan? And how are you going to get it done? What are you running off? All right, let's go to Tony Cummings. This is what Tony says in a statement. Dr. Tony Cummings wrote that he looks forward to the special election. However, he expressed disappointment. Listen carefully. I actually like this statement. He expressed disappointment with Governor Ron DeSantis and Sheriff Mike Williams. It is unfortunate that the current sheriff has put the hardworking taxpayers of Duval County in such a compromising position, especially at a time when out-of-control gun violence continues to paralyze our city and our nation. The governor would be wise to stay out of the local politics and allow the citizens of Jacksonville to elect their next sheriff in keeping with the city's charter. Cummings' statement goes on to say, I cannot imagine a scenario where the citizens would accept the appointment of a candidate endorsed by a sheriff that has abandoned his post. Even if it's the governor making the appointment, as the old saying goes, that would be adding insult to injury. It's time for a change. I like what he said. I like his opening statement. He says it's unfortunate that the current sheriff has put the hardworking taxpayers of Duval County in such a compromising position. Because we've been paying you. We go to work every day. We work hard. We make less. Prices are going up. We're frustrated, irritated, agitated. We're tired of the system as it is. It's shootouts seemingly on every corner. People getting shot and killed almost every day. And you get to move to St. Johns County. And then you leave and you endorse TK to take your place. So Cummings said it correctly. We don't know what he's running off either, though. He's not told us. We know you're running for sheriff. All of them keep saying they're running for sheriff. We get that. Thank you. What's your agenda? What is your agenda? How are you going to make that agenda work? What's your plan? All right, let's move on. We have Ken Jefferson. Ken Jefferson says, we're no longer in a marathon right now. We're in a full sprint, so it's go time. He says, I am pleased that the governor made an impartial choice and not someone that is in the race for sheriff. The sheriff's office can continue to work under the leadership of the appointee, Under Sheriff Ivy, as interim sheriff, and basically things go back as normal or as usual, if you will. He said things go back as normal or as usual, if you will, as if Sheriff Williams was still there. Here's what that means. He's recognizing that this new interim sheriff, he's not going to do nothing. He's not going to change nothing. You have, basically, you got Mike Williams still in office. You got Mike Williams with Ivy, and you have Mike, and I'm sorry to come out to Ivy because he was appointed, but I want you to see the blood. I want you to see the blood. Ivy is just holding it down until the election. He's not finna change. He can't change anything in a month. We are literally a month and a half, almost 2 months away from the election. So we got more of the same with Ivy. He's gonna hold it down. You put TK in there. He's Mike Williams' son. Mm-hmm. You put Wayne Clark in there, he's basically a dummy. Keisha Burton, listen to this. Let me tell y'all this. Look at who endorsed these people and look where they get their money from. TK, he has, I think it was $1,600,000, and Keisha Burton $1,003,000, something like that. My numbers may be off, but they ain't off by that much. They have over $1.5 million. We know TK got his money from Mike Williams, and everybody that endorsed Mike Williams is endorsing TK. The people that are behind Mike are behind TK because TK should change his name to Williams. He's TK Williams, TK Waters Williams, because he's Mike Williams' boy. All right. Keisha Burton, she's getting money from the Weavers. She's getting money from all your rich Republican who also supported Mike Williams. So the Republican Party has put their money behind two candidates, Keisha and TK. That's who they endorse. The same party that endorsed Mike is endorsing Keisha and TK. Now, folk don't give you money without expectation. Come on, Pickett. You got to talk loud so they can hear you. There's an expectation that comes with the dollar. I want to ask them who y'all owe. Now, they've got to say the right thing in the election. They got to say the right thing. They got to say, we ain't in nobody's pocket. Can't nobody tell us we're going to do what's right for the citizens of Jacksonville. Well, you've been in office all this long time. What have you done to change the narrative that we see every day? Absolutely. That's not to say that they weren't good patrol officers or they didn't serve their roles well. I'm saying they have no influence in our city. All right, so that was Ken Jefferson's. His statement is basically you got one and the same, and the election is picked up. All right, let's go to Matt Nemeth. He says, I'm looking forward to the special election to implement his strategy, and he gets an opportunity to plan it sooner. However, he doesn't agree with the endorsement, listen to this, of TK Waters, saying in part, I am afraid the governor might have inadvertently gotten caught in the backroom deal. I'll say that again. Now, this is Matt Nemeth. He says, I'm afraid the governor might have inadvertently gotten caught in a backroom deal. Unfortunately, some of the people he says he has been listening to may well be some of the people conspiring behind the scenes to sell JEA, which continues to be a matter for the FBI. Now, Matt Nemeth is letting some cats out the bag. He's saying the people that the governor is listening to are also the ones behind getting rid of JEA. All right. He says, I'm excited for the special election that will be held in August. It would give the voters a chance sooner than later to make their selection for the next sheriff. Now, he done criticized the sheriff and say he's listening to the wrong people. He said, the governor. He said the governor's listening to the wrong people. He says, also, if elected, it will allow me to implement my strategic plan sooner and start making our residents safer. The August date has little impact on my campaign as I've been meeting with community members as a candidate for almost a year to share my vision for a safer community. In addition, Under Sheriff Ivey is an experienced officer and a good choice to lead the JSO in the interim. Nemeth's statement also reads, I fully respect and support, catch it, Governor DeSantis, and know that if I'm elected as sheriff, we will have a productive working relationship on law enforcement as well as violent crime, traffic, homelessness, and mental health issues affecting our community. Boy, what? So you criticize the governor and say he's listening to the wrong people, but you have faith in this governor that you're going to be able to get something done. Well, that's an oxymoron. Sounds like to me, Matt is playing it safe so he can be DeSantis' boy. All right. Let's go on to TK Waters, because Matt Nemeth criticized the governor in his opening statement, said he was wrong, and he was listening to the wrong people. If he's wrong and he's listening to the wrong people, that means he cannot be trusted. So how are you going to look forward to working with someone you don't trust? Am I the only one catching this? Are you all thinking, are you all hearing this? You hear this oxymoron? Talk back to me, say something. Don't make me feel like I'm in this by myself. All right. Let's go to TK Waters' statement. Just hours after candidate TK Waters was endorsed by the governor, he expressed confidence in winning. Releasing this statement, I am incredibly honored to have the endorsement. So it's an honor. DeSantis hates black people, and you honoring him. This pisses me off to the highest level of passivity. He hates you. I'm incredibly honored to have the endorsement of Governor DeSantis to be our next elected sheriff. I look forward to winning this campaign and working with the governor. I'm looking forward to working with the governor to keep our city safe. In the month ahead, I will be retiring from JSO to focus all my efforts on winning this campaign. While this election is happening on an accelerated timeline, I am confident that I have the experience, resources, and team in place to win. I am eager to share my vision with the people of Jacksonville in the weeks ahead. In the meantime, I look forward to the interim Sheriff Ivey's leadership in the months to come and working with him as I transition out of my duties as Chief of Investigation. So you look forward to working with DeSantis to make Jacksonville better. The only thing TK has to offer us is the same thing Mike Williams offered. Nothing. He's looking forward to winning the election. That's the only thing. He's looking forward to winning the election. He just want to win. Let me go here. I want to read. Give me a second. Let me go in the other newsroom and get this. I want to read something. So I don't think it would be fair for me to jump on everybody. I don't think it would be fair to talk about everybody's plan and not tell you why I keep telling y'all Ken Jefferson is our guy. I got to tell you why he's our guy. None of these candidates, if you follow their campaign, if you listen to them, they're talking about winning. They're thanking all of the evil people who've endorsed them. They're thanking all the people who've given them money, but they're not talking about what they're going to do for the city. All right? You have to be agenda driven. What is your agenda? What are you going to do and how are you going to get it done? All right. Let me give you this. Let me give you this. Neesmith stole and let me say this because I support Ken Jefferson. I'm speaking for Terrence Pickett. I'm my own man. All right. Ain't nobody put me up to nothing. Ain't nobody told me to say nothing. In fact, If I know Ken Jefferson the way that I do, he's probably gonna get on my case because I don't care about none of them. I'm tired of y'all lying to the people. I'm tired of you playing these political games. And what angers me more than that is the black folk who've not raised their voice to talk about it. Ken Jefferson, I've got to let you see this. Hold on. I want you to read this card that I have. It's not fair for me to talk about it. And I don't post it, so I gotta do this right. I started supporting Ken Jefferson on the basis of what he was running off. He gave me something, okay? Unlike some of the rest of these, how am I going to support you? And I don't know what you're running off. I don't know your agenda. When I go to your website, it's not there either. What do you believe in? What you don't believe in? You running for sheriff. We know that, sir, ma'am. But why? Y'all give me 1 second. I'm going to get this and I'm going to show it to you. So I can be fair, be right. I think people ought to make up their mind based on the agenda. I go to a lot of churches, and some pastors have told me, "Hey, man, we're gonna give the people the information and let them make their choice." I think that's wise. I think it's wise. But when you start looking for the information, I don't know what you're going to get from these other candidates. Because if they're not releasing the information, you don't have no information. Well, Ken Jefferson is completely different. And I want y'all to know, again, he doesn't even know I'm doing this because I don't report to him about what I do. I'm my own man. I've been a voice in this city. For the last 12 years, you've heard me, whether it's been TV, radio, or both. I've been a voice in this city, and I'm not going to start now. I told you all when Trump was in office, check out all these preachers who ain't talking. These white preachers didn't speak against. They didn't speak against Trump. He was their guy, and we can't hear none of them now. All of them prophesied that Trump was going to win. Well, he lost. So that was a false prophecy you gave. And I brought you all the information on all of them, locally and abroad. Well, my job ain't over. We're gonna attack this. We're gonna attack this race for sheriff. Now, I wanna talk about Ken Jefferson, and I want you to see for yourself. I'm sorry. What he's running off. Why we need to vote for him. Okay. I think that's no more than right. Would you all agree? All right. Let's talk about who he is first. All right. Yeah, it's on his website, www.kenjeffersonforsheriff.com. Here's what you're going to find if you go there. 24-year career with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. He started out as a patrol officer and was promoted to leadership roles, including field training officer, administrative detective for the inspections accreditation unit, academy staff instructor. So these promotions were internal. He was promoted to field training officers. He's training other police. So they trust him to train other police. Well, if you're going to trust him to train other police, that means you and yourself must encompass what's necessary in order to give it away. So he trained other field training. He was a field training officer, administrative detective for the Inspections Accreditation Unit, academy staff instructor. So he's not only training new officers, he's also the staff instructor, burglary detective, sex crimes detective, and a police recruiter. So you've trusted Ken Jefferson to recruit police, train police, teach police. He made detective. He was a detective in burglary, trying to find out who robbed you. Sex crimes. Listen to this. Served as public information officer. Received numerous honors, including the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Florida honor, FBI Director's Community Leadership Award from the FBI. He's gotten honors from the U.S. Attorney's Office, from the FBI, Bob Hayes Special Community Service Award, Life-Saving Award after rescuing 3 young girls from a car submerged in a pond after an accident. This man is giving you his resume on what he's done, what he's been doing. So he has a proven leadership record. So the next time one of the monkeys say he doesn't have proven leadership, how, Sway? They hating. All right. Let's see what else we got on Mr. Jefferson here. What is he running his campaign off? What is his agenda? What is he going to do? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here are some of the things on his campaign agenda. Safety. James Ross, Terrence Pickett for sheriff. Hey, we might do that. Ken Jefferson says he wants safety. He wants to protect every man, boy, girl, woman, families, our children. He wants equal access to housing. And he wants fairness and justice. Now, I'm going to quote him because I sat in few places where he speaks. And this is what he said. One of the things that he said, he says a lot of crime happens because basically people are without. They're in need. When a person is hungry, what you think they're going to do? You get hungry enough, you're going to rob somebody. So that's where the equal housing comes in. It shouldn't be a surprise for any of us to know that black people don't get treated fairly. So he starts talking about equal access to housing, and he's talking about fairness and justice. One of the things I heard him say at a fundraiser Saturday, he says if they're writing tickets for jaywalking in San Jose, then they need to be writing it on the north side. But they don't need to be writing it on the north side if they're not writing it in San Jose. So he has some level of understanding that there's improper treatment to people of color or based on your zip code. We need someone who understands what's going on. Notice none of them black people said anything about fairness and justice. None of them. You know why? They can't talk about fairness and justice. Them white folk that's giving them that money cannot. They have to do what they tell them to do. And you already know the Caucasian brother that's running, he ain't going to talk about equal and fairness. He don't know nothing about that. He don't look like us. He don't understand what we go through on a day-to-day basis. Equality is important. Justice is important. You don't think black folk are getting more time than other people? I'm talking on a local level. Why do you think that is? Same crime, different time. Why? Because there's no fairness. There's no equality. There's no justice. We're not safe. We are not safe. I've never, God has blessed me. Oh, the Lord has blessed me. I've never had to live in the hood as an adult. Oh, he has blessed me. To God be the glory for the wonderful, marvelous, majestic things he's done in my life. I've never lived outside of a gated community. I'm not bragging. I'm not. To God be the glory. I'm grateful for what God has done. And I understand I'm 1 minute, if God's grace is not applicable, to losing it all. I have no hope in stock in what I have. My stock is in the God that has blessed me with, and I work hard. But I haven't had to live in the hood as a grown man. Every community I've lived in has been real good. Gated community, right? And I came home I came home yesterday after leaving the house of worship. Went to a few churches yesterday. I come home. I kid you not, I'm in the house. I'm playing if you want a good hymn record, I'm telling the boy, Jesse Campbell. You can get it on Spotify, iTunes, Jesse Campbell. I'm listening to Jesse Campbell. He's singing these hymns. There's about 10 of them on the record. And I'm listening to it. I got my Bluetooth on. I'm cleaning up, washing clothes, doing some domestic things. And I hear loud noise. But I live in a nice neighborhood. I'm not worried about nothing here. I've left my door unlocked. I ain't worried about nothing. Then we have a concierge service that basically comes and pick up the trash. Had to make some adjustments and rent my condo out. And I had to move. I moved to this place. It's really nice. Took the trash out, getting it ready for the concierge service. And some of my neighbors, 2 ladies, Puerto Ricans, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. How y'all doing? Fine. You sure you okay? When they asked again, I'm like, yeah. Well, why do you ask? Is your neighbor okay? As far as I know, why do you ask? Because less than 10 feet away, she begins to explain to me that somebody came out here shooting. They got in the neighborhood and they shot up something less than 10 feet away. So the noise that I heard that I didn't really engage in because I was singing these hymns was gunshots. So it doesn't matter because you live in a good neighborhood. That don't mean anything anymore. I want to be safe. We got to put this man in office. We got to put this man in office. It's imperative for the cause. You should be tired of being treated the way that you are. Ken Jefferson for sure. So I interrupted your regular programming to bring you this special coffee time because all of this broke down. This information came out today. And I think we as a people have to make a decision to do something different. Now, I want to say this. Too. All of this is going on. My heart is broken. I lost a brother. I lost a friend. Toy Harris. He was just everything. So the last thing that I want to deal with after dealing with all that stuff is being safe. I shouldn't have to be strapped up to take the trash out. The sheriff don't care nothing about this community. The people he endorsed don't care nothing about this community. Why? They have no ties to this community. Vote Ken Jefferson. He's an incredible man. Everywhere we go, they shooting something up. I was with my brother Amp, Fred Webster, and we went to get wings. I'm just hanging out with my bro. And these idiots shot up the restaurant we was in. We had to hit the floor. It's because this knucklehead of a sheriff doesn't care anything about black folk. DeSantis don't care anything about black folk. And anybody they endorse don't care anything about black folk. When's the last time TK been in your hood? What they telling Keisha? Because they in here, they ain't giving them millions of dollars for nothing. I know for a fact Ken Jefferson's doing it right. I know that for a fact. I know it for a fact. You know why? I'm using every source I have, every resource I have to make this man share. Knocking on doors, asking for money. If you want to give, you can go to his website. It's www.kenjeffersonforsheriff.com. Let me put that up. I'm doing everything I can. I really am. Because I think it's imperative that we get this man in office. There it is. If you want to give, donate, go to his website, please. We don't need more of the same. We don't need somebody that's in the system or tied to the system or receiving money from people to do favors. And I'm the voice to tell you. I tell you just like I told y'all that these preachers and these pastors was robbing you with these money lines, preaching God gonna curse you because of the type. I've been telling y'all this stuff for years. So some of y'all finally getting into the knowledge of the truth. But remember, I told you from the beginning, I blew the horn on a lot of them. And my work ain't done. I'm going to still blow the whistle on them. And we're going to do this thing right. Vote Ken Jefferson for sheriff. If you like what I do, I need your support. I don't have anybody writing me a salary. When I bring you this information, nobody's in my pocket. I do what I do off the love of the people. And you can give at $sponsored coffee time. I believe we're supposed to affect the community in which we live, and every resource and platform that I have, I'm going to use it till I die to try and get the right people in office. It's not enough to complain about how they treating us if you're not going to get your butt up and vote. Now, we're voting on August 23rd, but don't you wait till August the 23rd to vote. Early vote. If you do early voting, you can vote from any precinct. If you wait till August 23rd, you have to go to your precinct. If you go to any other precinct outside of yours, they're going to let you vote. They are. But it won't count. Early voting is the way to go. Ken Jefferson is our man. Listen, I so believe in this dude. I'm on his campaign. I do everything I can. I talk to everybody I can. I'm trying to do everything I can get this man in office. Why? I believe in him. I know he's our guy. And if you can't be praying for change and not being the change, because faith without works is dead. We've got to give, and we got to tell our family and my friends, Ken Jefferson for sheriff. All right. Thank y'all for joining me on tonight. I said what I said. I meant what I said. And these knuckleheads that's running for sheriff, they're not the ones for us. All of them criticized the they criticized the governor, then turned around and said, I look forward to working for him. What? We need a new governor. What are you talking about? I look forward to work. I don't look forward to working with nobody that hate my people. We're supposed to love everybody. Well, how you can say you love me and you're not doing and writing policies for me? All right, I think it's time for me to get out of here. I'm starting to get worked up. Sick of it. We've got to get the right person in there. I love you all. See you all in the morning. Coffee time. Think higher. Speak life.
Coffee time, coffee time. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right in my life. It's never a wrong time over crime to get what's yours and to get what's mine. Come on. Coffee time in my life. Coffee time. Feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on.